So there are a few ways in which life goes wrong, or you start to lose who you are and start to lose the perception of the world around you, according to you, when you start to mold your behavior or your actions according to other people. What do I mean by that? When we are children, we're expected to behave in a certain way by some parents, not all parents, but some parents expect us to, and we might be guilty of this too. We are expecting the children, or the children are expected to behave in a certain way, to listen to you, to go by your word, to not make independent decisions, to listen to you until they are of the age where they can listen to themselves on their own, which is kind of a skewed logic. Like, that doesn't make sense, even though we end up doing the same thing. But if a child is not trained to take independent decisions in its early years or in their early years, they will not grow up into a person who can take independent decisions. And either independent decision making comes from parenting that is very traumatic, where the child just assumes that, okay, going forwards, I'm not going to take decisions based on these people and what they have taught me. Or they end up delegating, or let's say handing over all their decision making to their parents till time immemorial. Like, it doesn't really matter how old they get. Even if they are having children of their own, if their children are having children, still their parents would be making decisions for them. So there's no such thing as do it right now, according to me, and then later on, you do it as per you. And the problem with that kind of parenting is that these kind of children that grow up in controlled environments, they start to live their lives or build their lives according to other people. They start to work on what is called correct behavior instead of their truth. They start to work on what is acceptable compared to what is wanted. So it starts off in very subtle ways. Like, they'll choose the clothes that you want them to wear. They will go to the places where you want to go. They will eat the food that you will serve them, or they will say yes and they will not make noise and they will keep to themselves, or they will watch your behavior and your actions and your temperaments before adding any individuality of their own to the situation. So they will not break down when you are breaking down. They will uh, watch themselves around you and mold themselves according to you, because they need your affection and they need your love and they need your support. Because as children are very aware that parents are their only caretakers and nobody else can do the job of a parent, because they have probably been to other people also. They have stayed with the relatives, they have lived with other people for some time, at least a weekend. So they understand the kind of parenting that can happen. Or even if it doesn't happen, that this is the only place it can happen, or it can't happen, it can't be outsourced to somebody else. So children are also naturally attuned to the parents. They are born from the mother, so they kind of expect all their needs to be taken care of by the mother. They expect the mother to be the nourisher, to be the nourishment. They expect the father to be the caretaker. And it's in their biology. It's not that they grow up with that kind of thinking. That is expected out of them. And they expect this out of the parents. So when they reach a certain age and when they become older, now what do? They start to study the subjects that you want them to study. They start to spend time with people that you want or approve of. They start to build hobbies that you approve of. They start to focus on further education that you approve of. Their accolades or their certificates or their merits or their medals, it's all dependent on you, what you want. Why? Because love was always conditional with the parent. Parent never loved the child for just the child being themselves. They only loved them when they got something from them. Good job, you know, and well done. When is it a job well done? When they got something. And when they showed the parents that, look, this is what I got, and the parents could show it to other people, look, this is what they got. So instead of the child being a child, the child became a possession. He became a thing. She became a thing to have, to hold. And comparisons start to happen. They happen in families. My child did this. Oh, my child could have also done this. They just didn't do this. So that's why this happened. And then this happened. And then this happened. Okay, my child did this. Oh, my child also did not want to do this at all. Like it, instead of the child just being left to be a child, they become objects that are now being compared. And since it is so visible, since the comparison is so visible, since the toxic parenting is so visible, the child learns that their value lies in what they produce, not who they are. That their value lies in what they produce and not what they are. So they understand, watching the parents from a very early age, that whatever they are is not enough. Whoever they are is not enough. It's what they produce, it's what they bring to the table, it's the productivity. The productivity is the value, it's not their existence. So there are no medals for existing, there is no love for existing. Just being a child is not worth of an accolade, it's not worth, does not make you worthy of love, of affection. And that child learns at a very early age that what I bring to the table is of importance. So further on, they start bringing the things that you will approve of, whether it be relationships, love, marriage, their own kids, anything that they do, their own career, their own wealth, they do it to show you and get affection from you and get love from you. What they are doing is not wrong. The child, no matter what age they have reached, is not wrong. It's your conditioning. But let's say now we are in the position of the child, okay? And we have made our lives or built our lives based on our trauma response, which was I am not enough. What I do is what makes me lovable. So we have, maybe there is a stage in life for some people when they realize that all their decisions were based out of trauma, out of fear, out of approval from other people, and not truly what they wanted, not truly what they needed. So what do? They start noticing things. What do they notice? They notice that the more they adjusted, the more they brought in things that other people would approve of, the more this list expanded. It was never enough. It was never enough. First, sacrifice. You were making sacrifices, right? From your perspective, you were making sacrifices in order to keep everybody happy. But the other person, the parent or whoever that you're trying to get the approval of, did not see it as a sacrifice at all, because you've been doing this from a long, and they never gave it to you in plain writing or plain wording that they expected this from you. The parenting is not a healthy parenting in any way. So they will never truly accept that they went wrong somewhere. They will always blame it back on you. I never asked you to do this. Why did you do it? Why are you blaming me for your life now? After everything has gone on, you blame me for everything now, every decision that you have taken. They will not take ownership, and it will never be enough. At the same time, it will never be enough. Your bending or molding and shape shifting will become a requirement. And every time you do not do it, you will look like somebody that does not respect them, that does not value them, that does not show them enough love. Because for them, love is something objectified, a sacrifice to show, look what I did for you. But while you do it, you can't say, look, I did it for you, because they are very careful in saying, I did not ask this of you. You're doing it on your own. So this becomes a very tricky situation where you keep on going on in your life, sensing and tuning in and adapting to other people's needs, while they, in their own reality, start rejecting your sacrifice while they approve of the behavior. They will never acknowledge it as a sacrifice, but they will approve of your behavior. And the moment you divert, it will be termed as disrespect. This is the normal narrative that goes on. But the problems here, except the ones that we've already talked about, it will never end. It will never end. And you will feel less and less and less satisfied as time goes on. You will notice and realize that all the decisions that you were taking do not fill you up anymore or never filled you up in the first place. But now they are becoming so heavy for you to carry, and nobody will share the weight. Nobody will share the weight. Why? Because they never expected you to do this. You did this out of your own accord because you sensed something in them that they would not verbally say. So we reach a time when we wake up and we realize that there is no end to this. There is no end to building your life according to other people. That there is no end in which one day they will leave you alone. That day is not going to come when they will say, "Good job, you were a good child," because that day will not come. They will keep on saying, and you will always keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. What does that mean? You will keep waiting for a day when they will come and tell you, "I did so much for you, and you did nothing for me." And that day might happen, might take place. Why? Because you're feeding into a black hole. The parents do not need their children to support them so much. The parents do not need or should not need their parents, their children, to emotionally hold them. The parents should not ideally need their children to bring them things that they can achieve for themselves. They do not need the children to bring accolades to them, to bring medals to them, to fetch things as if from a garden and look, present to the parent. Look what I got for you. It's not their job. Their job is to live their life in their own way and choose it for what it is. Be happy with it for what it is. It's not to fill the gaps that you found in your life. You, as a parent, have not created a clone that now will achieve everything you were not able to achieve. Living vicariously through your children or living through your children is an extreme form of unhealthy parenting, and it is almost abusive behavior. The children are souls that chose you to come on this planet, to be born on this planet, but they did not offer you control of their own lives. Taking control of somebody else's life is considered to be very wrong behavior spiritually. It's not tolerated. Letting people be who they are and accepting them for who they are is the true essence of correct behavior. So, if you are the one enabling somebody's trauma response, or if you are somebody who is aligning with somebody else's trauma through adding your own trauma, let's say the first situation is the parent, and the second is the child. So, if you are either one of those, the cycle needs to stop. Cycle needs to break because a day will come when you will be left alone holding on your decisions, and you will want validation for all the times that you put everybody else in front of you, and nobody will sit with you, and nobody will stand with you, and nobody will say, I see you, I see what you did, because they were never truly seeing you. They were seeing their own life, they were seeing their own problems. They were never truly seeing you. So, since they were missing you completely, whoever you were performing for, they were not even watching the show. Then, who did you or who did we take all these decisions for? Why did we sacrifice our life for receiving love or validation or acceptance from the people that were not even watching us in the first place?